Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today we are back with the new series, quote unquote, just adding to the new player guides topic that we've been covering for a while here. We've actually been talking about doing what we're doing right now for quite a while, over a year now. A lot of people were saying, what we could do for perks for like Patreon or anything like that. And this isn't necessarily that, but it kind of is what we were talking about where, viewers send me runs and I critique them or offer my advice on them. Full warning here. I really don't feel qualified for this, frankly, but I think that this is a really good place to start, and I don't know how many we'll eventually end up doing, but this is Asterial. His character's name is Sojourner, also in the guild, but I believe, maybe he'll tell his story here in the comments, but I believe he found the channel because of the new player guides. He was one of the most vocal, advocates for those new player guides. I believe he watched them all, and it was a big, he feels he learned a lot from them, and I think we made an impact on that. So I feel really almost blessed to have, somebody who, first of all, saw all the videos and learned from it. But, now that I cocould give back to him, and he's kind of giving back to me by helping me, get some content for the channel here. So that's step one. Step two, I just want to apologize for the format. I don't really know. Got the black bars on the side. Can't seem to. I don't know if it's just the way he recorded it or what, but that's that. So this is his footage. We're gonna watch over it. We're gonna talk about it. It's obviously it's the first time seeing it. A couple things. We'll talk about the UI real quick. It's actually a pretty good UI. He doesn't have a lot of bloat. If you look at my UI, a lot of people critique me for having a lot of bloat, and I understand that. But for me, it's everything that I need. So it might look visually bloated. For you guys watching it, or especially an uninitiated watcher, but for me it's exactly as I need it. So his character's pretty good set up. It looks like he's only got one piece of corruption on. I don't know if we're going to see what that piece of corruption is, but yeah, he only has one item. He's got two 460 trinkets on. One of them's spore pods, so I like that. I don't know much about it for Paladin, but he's also got the raid trinket, which is another thing I have to comment on because we spoke about this, I believe, a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And he was like, I'm never going to get anything from the raid. It's just out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you'd be surprised how easy Maud is on Heroic. And I think this trinket is very good. So, again, hats off, man. He stepped up. He got something he needed from the game. Didn't make excuses. Went and pugged Heroic. That's cool, man. That really is cool. So anyway, let's get started here. A couple things you're going to notice immediately here is... he's got no pots. He's got a couple health pots, 11 of those. Got 35 flasks, which is a lot. The only other problem is, though, so there's the essences. He's using Anima Minor and Memory of Lucid Dream Major, which I know to be very good for Paladin. I don't know about that setup. I would definitely, if I was playing Prop Paladin, I would definitely have, what's it called? Vision of Perfection Minor somewhere in there. But they're going right to Razan. And obviously, this is what I would recommend. So before we even watch this, I just want to point out that like his DPS chart is on the bottom right. I don't really know. Maybe I'll move the cam up here or something. It's a little bit awkward either way. But yeah, I'm gonna move the cam up there because the DPS chart is on the bottom, just so you might want to see it. It's also got like kind of like I guess it's just a bar like with information on it. Looks kind of like Foobar if you remember from back in the day. I'm not sure what add-on it is. Maybe he'll tell us, but. Null barrier for this dungeon, really not needed, by the way. I feel like this is probably a good dungeon to not use null barrier. It's really just the third boss that does a lot of magic damage. Volcall does a lot of magic damage, but it's really only for like 30 seconds of the fight. Usually that, especially, although this was recorded on Tyrannical. Wait, is this a 12? Either way, whatever it is, recorded on Tyrannical. Yeah, it's probably don't need it, I would say. I would probably, if it was me, instead of null barrier, usually good for a lot of dungeons, I would probably take visions, but I'm not going to talk about Paladin here. So let's keep going. So yeah, what else? We got like I said, no pots, so he's not going to get a pre-pot off. At least I'm not seeing them. Don't see them, yeah. All right, now he's doing what I recommend here is to wait. You want to make sure they're a little short here. He's got some notations on the screen telling me what's going on here, showing some UI elements, interrupt CD tracker. That's cool. I would definitely recommend getting the weak aura. Oh, he drums. Interesting. I would definitely recommend getting the weak aura for interrupts because I don't see that anywhere. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't see it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting that. Step one, if you're going to do keys, definitely make sure you have that interrupt weak aura because especially as a prop paladin, this could be extremely important. Knowing when you're going to have and have not to interrupt, meaning like, when it's mandatory and when it isn't, is extremely important. Also on the top right, he's got the physical damage tracker. It's quite small. It's hard to see. I would definitely get that down into the middle of your screen if I were you. Well, maybe it doesn't matter as much for Prop Paladin. For Blood DK, it's absolutely imperative because I need to know when and where I need to use AMS properly, and I don't usually use that properly. But anyway, let's keep going. So, yeah, they didn't bring a Lust. I don't know if this is his group or what. No Lust. But, yo, it's not needed, really. I mean, you got drums, I understand. Now, of course, Prop Paladin has some sick utility here. The first pick is a Warlock. I'd love to see a Bop go out here. But, frankly, I don't know if how much it actually helps a Warlock. What else you got? You got a Monk Healer, Warlock DPS, Warrior DPS, and Demon Hunter DPS. So, I don't exactly know how valuable this is. All I know is you can do it, and I think it's more valuable so the boss doesn't move. And that's more valuable than people might think it is. So I would definitely bop. Just kind of let the person get... I don't know, because like if you bop them on the pole and they get bopped immediately, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not going to go... The boss isn't going to go anywhere. So he actually gets picked here, and he does something interesting. Which ultimately ends up probably saving his life, but you probably should have just did this earlier, which is he's going to bubble, of course. He shows it off. So, I mean, it's a good play. It saved your life. I don't know how you got picked. I still don't really understand how this fight works, frankly. I don't really understand how a tank ever gets picked when there's multiple ranged, but you definitely should have just bubbled earlier. I'm sure you were panicking, so that's easier said than done. But yeah, in that situation, as a Blood DK, or as a Prop Paladin, just bubble early, because then, again, the boss is going to stand still, which is really important here. So, looks like you're going to barely get by. I don't know, obviously not ideal that the boss is down here. I don't really like this whole boss down here thing. I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't do this, because then, you know, like, the range is moving a lot, but frankly, I like having the boss in one position. And he's got it again. Wow, that's bizarre. I get it extremely rarely, like almost never. But oh my god, Razan dead so fast. 2 minutes. That's what Lust too, of course, so that's good. Okay, so this week was Necrotic and Raging. This was a while ago, so... well, it wasn't that long ago. But either way, yeah, it's a pretty good week for Prop Pally. I'd say one of the best weeks for Prop Pally. They have nobody to deal with Raging, but let's see. I don't know. So let's go back a little bit here, because I'm a little bit concerned with CD usage. Okay, so used it all on the pull there. Yeah, Wings is on CD there. I'm just not, let's see. Okay, so you're back here. I'm just not really sure. So this is why this is why you definitely want to use Vision Minor, right? Because it just turns, although maybe you don't want to use it with Memory of Lucid Dreams Major. I think the play is to keep them at the same, I don't know. I don't really know Paladin, but if I was playing my Prop Paladin, which I'm going to be playing in the coming week here, I would definitely want to have Vision Minor, because I know that as Holy Paladin, I could have Wings a lot more. And I see you're not using Wings. You haven't used Wings on any of these packs. Which, again, I'm not going to tell you how to play Prop Pally, but pretty sure that's suboptimal. I mean, you could have had it. You could have used it on the first pack, and it'd be coming back up for this blob up here. So, yeah, I assume that you're going to use it again here. Or actually maybe on this pack. Either way, it'd be a good idea. But, yeah. Also, looks like you got a trinket on your bars that you're not currently using. Guess that's fine. It's not going to stop you. Still no Wings. Gotta use that CDs, man. So that's the biggest mistake. People always talk about this in keys. They ask me, hey, do you have a blah, blah, blah? You know, well, what's the tip for general tank tips? My general tank tips, do not sit on your CDs, okay? Especially, realistically, Prop Pallies are just as big as Blood DKs. They have some of the strongest CDs in the game, and to not be using Wings is just insane, honestly. Like, it'd be like not using Vamp Blood. It's a little different, because Vamp Blood has some offensive synergy now that it used to not have. But in general, they're basically both used for the same thing. You know what I mean? You want to use them when they're good for both. And the Blob is probably a good time, but I'm sure, now especially since you haven't used it here, I'm sure that it would have been back up. If you used it on, maybe it would have like been close, but if you used it on that first pack after Razan, yeah, and then you would be definitely back up here. And I would definitely recommend getting a little damage in on the eye stocks. Especially as Prop Pally, like 100%. So you used Lucid Memory, or whatever it's called, Memory of Lucid Dreams there. I guess it's for mostly defense, right? And there's Wings. So it looks like you're using Wings mostly defensively, which is fair enough. I mean, I'm not going to, yeah, whatever you got to do. Could have been a good opportunity for Lay on Hands, so you probably want to get that on CD early in the dungeon. Get some value out of that. Couple uses of that. Also, do we have the bubble taunt talent? I don't know, but it's obviously still on CD, so I should have looked at that. Anyway, yeah, I would definitely say as a prop pal, you definitely want to get some damage on those eye stalks, right? I mean, it's free damage, and you could interrupt it like crazy with Shield of the Righteous, or not, whatever, Avenger's Shield. So I would definitely recommend not coming down here immediately. The play is obviously like you don't want to cover the area with the purple puddle things, right? Like it's a fine line to toe, but I feel like getting an interrupt off and even getting my dots on for blood decay is invaluable. So I'd imagine the same would be said for all 6 tanks. But yeah, okay. So now they don't have a Death Knight, but of course it's not it's not fortified. So let's see what they end up here. I'm interested in seeing the route too, because I assume he's going to be using the route I laid out. Oh, so you do have Twilight Devastation. That was it there. Okay, I noticed that. So that's good. So at least, what rank is that? It's got to be rank 2, hopefully at least, maybe 3. Ideally 3. I don't know what level your cloak was. I didn't notice it, but I noticed your neck was only 79, so I assume the cloak's probably not too far behind. Now you could blind that. I don't think you have blind, but you probably know that. So either way, you got a couple options in this group. Plenty of stuns in this group, frankly. Single target stuns, that is. A lot of good options. Warrior doesn't bring a lot of utility, but at least it should bring single target stun. And you're handling this pretty well. Now, of course, with Tyrannical, or with Necrotic, it's still pretty dangerous. This is probably one of the hardest things coming up in the dungeon, so let's see how this gets handled. He's going to have Wings Up, going to have Memory of Lucid Dreams coming up. I would definitely use them on the Obelisk at this point. I would save them, and he is looking like he's doing that. You could definitely want to interrupt that as much as possible. It looks like, unless I misunderstood, the pink bar is your interrupt timer. So you definitely want to get a lot of interrupts out here. This is a mob type that really just does a ton of damage. You'll get to see it in higher fortified keys. Once you start getting to like 16 and higher, probably 17, 18, these mobs just destroy. I'm talking about go nuts. So, oh, a lot of damage taken here. And bubble and bop off CD, but I guess, not really needed. So let's see. A couple options here. If he has the bubble taunt talent and I'm playing prop alley, oh, there's a nice dispel. That's good. I'm probably going to go in with bubble taunt, honestly. Just maybe get a little bit of threat, like drop Consecrate, get a couple Shield of Righteousness out, and then once they're expiring, bubble taunt. Because, I mean, it's removing the bleed, also removing Necrotic, so you've been feared, not ideal. That's probably the healer's fault, didn't get to see it. A lot of movement here. Hard to see where the 4th mob is. Hopefully you have threat on it. A little bit aggressive, the running here. I would definitely make sure those are dead. What I like to do anyway is I like to get threat on them, kill them. It's a little different with Necrotic, obviously. But I like to get them all, kill them mad quick, and then run. So usually the mob's at about 50 when you do that. That's kind of the play. If you got to run really, really, really far, you might want to go earlier. But 50 is when you want to start running, I feel like. Because then, by the time you get there, he's going to be in the 40s. And you don't want to run too early. You don't want to isolate your DPS, basically. You don't want to leave them out there. So yeah, that's good. So you're going a pretty good place here. I used to go here. I kind of like the other side, and that's just because when I mind control my pet. So now, are they red because you don't have threat? Looks like, yeah. So these mobs did not get killed. Definitely, I would say that's step 1. And you still didn't use wings. Okay, I don't want to harp on this the whole video, but you got to use your CDs. Definitely, especially in here. This is the place. Pop wings, drop Consecrate, pop wings, throw that shield, bounce that thing around, get Memory of Lucid Dreams going, and rattle off some big damage here. Get some good damage, get some good defense going, and then you could bubble taunt if you have the talent. If not, I would recommend taking the talent, absolutely, for Necrotic. If you do not have that talent, next time it's Necrotic, you definitely want to have that talent for sure. So there was his Rebuke. Obviously got lots of interrupts as prop pally, a little bit of luck based, but still very valuable, obviously, very valuable. So this mob's getting destroyed. I like the idea of targeting with the skull. That's probably the right play, frankly, because yeah, it's definitely a dangerous mob, even on Tyrannical. So yeah, again, looks like we're using a lot of these CDs for pure defense, which hey, is a safe play, no doubt. You know your limitations, I suppose. And it looks like, oh, cool. So Laying Hands, what happened there? He bubbled. Okay, that's fair enough. So that is bubble taunt? I can't tell. Let's see if we can go back a little bit. I want to see bubble. I thought Lay on Hands went out. That would have been the time to use Lay on Hands, it looked like. Although you got a lot of stacks in Necrotic, so as long as you got bubble taunt, you might as well do that. Let's see what happens here. Bubble is going to come in right about now. Next global. One more global. Another global. Still bubbling now. Boom. Nope, there it is. Okay. Yeah, looks like they're still on him. So, yeah, he must have the talent. I don't know. I should have just looked. But anyway, great talent. 5-minute CD. A little bit tight. Obviously, you got to be a little bit cautious about when and where you use it on necrotic. But you could also bop, obviously, outside of that 5-minute CD. It's only a 1-minute forbearance, so you could bop, of course. But looks like a couple people died there. So pretty dangerous pack without blood decay. Have to say it, obviously. I mean, that's tough, right? No matter what, this dungeon is tough. I have to say, this dungeon legitimately got harder, if you ask me. Going in a little early there. The rest of your group is still recovering from the pack. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I would definitely wait until the guy's rezzed and everybody's like topped. But this one's, I guess, if you're going to do that, this one's probably the one to do it. So yeah, just gets right on these. Pretty good. You can do some damage to them. Pad a little bit, I guess. Doesn't really help. I mean, they're going to die anyway. I don't think it has anything to do with how much damage you do. I think they could literally not be in combat. Definitely want to get that Dispel going. A couple people got hit by that. It does a lot of damage. You picked the right person. That person had 2 dots on them. We failed to interrupt Void Weaver, and we also got hit by the green thing on the ground, the Void, whatever, the big circle from the Scarabs. Major mistake on that guy's part. That was on the Monk Healer, I believe. Irreparable damage, and again he gets hit by it. This time he's going to Dispel himself. You have the dot on you. I would get that Decursive. I would go ahead and get that thing all the way down there, man, because it's far away from where your mouse is. You want to snap the spell as a prop ally. There's some value there. Absolutely, you want to get that going. So, another failed interrupt here. Can't tell who didn't interrupt there just because you don't have the weak ore, but definitely recommend getting that weak ore. If you need it, I could link it to you. Let me know. It's absolutely insanely valuable for 5 minutes. Okay, so let's see how this works out. So far, everything's gone to plan. A little slow. 18 minutes at this point is a little slow for a 12, but you know, the DPS maybe I haven't been paying a lot of attention. So you definitely want to get this first interrupt. I always like to get this first interrupt. Pretty easy as prop pally. You got only 1 tick. Very good. If you let it go for, I believe it's 2 seconds, it will get 2 ticks. I think it's a 6-second channel. Every 2 seconds, it's an extra tick. So definitely want to make sure you get that first interrupt immediately. And now it just spreads some damage. But you got to be careful. You got Twilight Devastation. I'm sure you've maybe seen this by now. You really want to be careful. If you go to fight any of these, and a little late in the interrupt, but you still got it. Perfect. Basically every time Rebuke is off CD, that's when you need to interrupt again. That's the kind of the thing there. And you can also Dispel. You definitely want to do that. So I'd get used to on this fight. Rebuke on CD on the boss, throw some damage on the totems, and then Dispel on CD as well. Every time it goes out, I would just Dispel yourself, because the healer's probably going to Dispel himself, or he's probably going to Dispel a DPS, or nobody. Neither of you are going to Dispel anybody. So that's a lot of damage that's being left on the table, and there you go, you got it. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so let's see. So again, haven't really seen a lot of CD usage. You got Guardian and Ancient Kings, you got AD, you got Wings, you got 4 CDs up. Land Hands has yet to be used once this dungeon. Probably a good idea not to use it, honestly. Could save a wipe. You never know. Oh, you do have the weak ore interrupt. It's all the way on the left side. Okay. Reevaluate the UI. No longer like it. It's actually under the cam. I'm going to move the cam just to show you that. It's actually under the cam. You see it? It's right next to the cam. Okay. So we won't comment on that again. But, man, that's a bad place for it, honestly. Okay. Well, see, this is the problem, right? You run the risk of having a cluttered UI like I do, but there is just so much information being left on the table if you don't have a cluttered UI. There's so many things. Like, I would definitely bring Decursive down. I would definitely bring that weak ore down to see the physical, the nature damage, etc. Although, again, not really that important at Prop Pally. Really close to that gate. By the way, if Twilight Devastation shoots out with that angle that you were just at, kind of goes out through the gate, it will aggro those. So you got to be really careful. It's probably, you were probably safe there, but it was going to be tight. Anyway, yeah, I'll bring all that stuff down. Get that UI centered. I like that you got on the bottom right, he's got the Exorcist Raid tool with the mark bar as well. Pretty good. So yeah, so we did that whole fight without using Memory of Lucid Dreams. We didn't use Guardian of Ancient Kings, and we didn't use AD. And it might seem like, you know, like from like a viewpoint, like the viewpoint that you might have, it might be like, well, I didn't need them. It doesn't matter. The more you use these things, the more value they are, and theoretically, the more DPS the healer could provide, right? Like, the easier the dungeon goes. You're not gaining anything by not using them, and of course, using them frequently smooths the damage intake. So, you'll get used to that. I think a lot of that might just be learning the damage patterns in the dungeon. But yeah, let's see. This pack here, I would open with Guardian of Ancient Kings, because this is going to be a very dangerous pack. The first 2 or 3 globals are always very tough. Usually I have Rune Weapon up for it, so I'm fine. But a couple of those casts, a lot of the times if I'm the first person here, they will both target me. And if I don't interrupt at least one of them, I usually get really trucked here. So at least you got to use something, right? You got to get something going. So yeah, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, just keep interrupting here. I guess we don't have blind. I don't see it anywhere. So I'm missing it. Probably just got the Hammer of Justice talent. I don't know exactly how that talent works. Maybe he's got Repentance. Don't see that either. But yeah, I would take blind. 99% sure Prop Pally has it, right? I would definitely take blind for this dungeon especially, if not every dungeon, just because it's an extra AoE interrupt. And that is valuable. You know, we talk about what tanks do and don't bring. Maybe you do have it, because I just could have swore we just blinded there. Something interrupted those mobs, but I don't see the spell anywhere in the bars. I should have checked your talents. Okay, anyway, so yeah, somebody's going to click that. You're kind of just standing there. It's fine. I like to get out in the front and click that and make sure I'm the first person. And then, yeah, just make sure, yeah, this is easy as Prop Pally. Just make sure you're getting an interrupt here. Like I said, don't stun it in the video. Don't, there you go. You got Rebuke. Very good. Don't stun it because it's going to bait somebody into interrupting as well. And that's that. So, pretty good here. Again, wings, got to be using that. Maybe you want to save it at this point. It's hard to say. But, yeah, everything looks pretty good. I mean, the groups, I guess you got it on overall DPS because this one guy's just been at 40k the whole time. It's pretty good overall damage for Season 2, maybe. Group's damage pretty weak. Okay, so let's see how we're going to handle this. This is always fun to watch this. Let's see what happens. We just going to skip it? Or what are we going to do here? Going around the corner here like if we're skipping it. Interesting. We'll see how... Obviously, I don't think you're skipping that, so we'll see what happens. Combining these 2 packs, not a bad idea. On Necrotic, a little risky, but not really a problem, obviously. Dies real quick. Most of them don't even auto-attack you, right? So, what else? What do we got? Next pack up. Still got wings on. Still got wings available. Not much. Not much going on. Really good. That's a good thing, obviously. But yeah, just I don't know. I don't want to keep harping on it, but I kind of can't. I kind of can't hold my tongue. You don't use your CDs often at all, and that's a big problem with Prop Pally. And I see if you're struggling defensively, that would be why. Because not using your CDs like optimally or even at all is just you're leaving so much defense on the table. Even if it feels like you don't need it, it's just free defense. You know what I mean? It's so... They're not long CDs either. Like AD is what, a minute and a half? Wings is going to be a minute and a half once you get Vision Minor on. These things are being up every pack, every other pack pretty much. So now I have a big pack at the stairs. Let's see this. I'm excited to see how this goes. I assume that you're sending me this because you feel this dungeon went really well. What would you say? Would you say that this went really well? You're looking like you're close to 2-chesting it. It's probably not going to happen though. So definitely, you got a wings on the pull here. This is a damage pack. You're going to pop off on this pack. Drop wings on the pull, or drop consecrate, pop wings, throw the shield, let them come back into your consecrate like you see me do with D&D. Get that down global 0, free damage there, and then boy would you be popping off right now. I can't see how much damage you're doing because you have it on overall, but I'd imagine you'd be doing a lot more if you use wings. And there's wings now, a little late into the pack. Whoa, what's that? What the hell was that? Are we showing something there or what? Obviously, bubbles up. You could just avoid taunting. Maybe you were showing how many stacks of necrotic you had. You could bubble taunt on the pull there too, if you feel like you're going to be in danger. It's a good idea too, especially on a pack like that, because people always pop off there, and you probably wouldn't have threat. I'm trying to tell, when did we lust in this group? Oh yeah, you lusted on Vocal. Okay, cool. The timer is kind of hard to see up there, so that's fine. You lusted on Vocal. Alright, so super kite mode. Again, not a bad option, but you got bubble up. Probably want to make sure your bubble taunt. 5-minute CD, you definitely could have used it. That's like a run-defining pack right there, right? So obviously, you want to use that as often as you can. And then it looks like we're going to get that for extra count. But I think we're going to be... Oh yeah, because you haven't done the obelisk yet. I was going to say, how are we short? That's fine. So doing the obelisk last is an interesting choice. I guess that's fine. I don't know. I see a reason why you can't do that. I would probably not do it last, though, just because the problem is, like, doing a very difficult thing right before overall call is very sketchy. It's part of the reason why I've just completely given up on doing this middle pack. I used to like doing this middle pack. Oh, you're going to get count here. Huh. Anyway, I used to like to do the middle pack on some weeks, but doing it right before Yasma, sorry, not Volcall, obviously. Yasma is just not a good idea, because people use all their CDs there, and then you don't have any damage for Yasma. So you stunned the cast, which you could have just interrupted. I assume that was an option. Not sure, I didn't pay attention exactly, but I would definitely recommend saving stun for when that guy charges, because if you stun him the second he charges, we were short on the interrupt, or short on the pull there, that's funny. I do that all the time, don't feel bad about that, but that's not a good thing. The reason you're doing a countdown is for a pre-pot. So if you're pre-potting and you're not pulling on 0, then it's not, whatever, it's not a big deal. I do it all the time just because I'm slow-ass DK. You're probably in the same boat as Paladin, but I would definitely switch to that ad. No reason not to. Your melees do a lot more damage than you might think they do. So definitely get some auto attacks in on that thing. The faster that dies, the faster the DPS get back to the boss. It looks like a pretty good job from the group overall in this fight. Boss is already at 50, so really good damage. I really wish I could... Next time if you do another one of these, I know you already sent me another one, but if you do a third one of these, I'd love to see damage on every pack. Because then at the end of the dungeon, details automatically switches to overall anyway. So having it on overall the whole time, I never really got why anybody does that. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Mostly because who cares what overall is right now? You want to see if these guys are maximizing their burst or not, and it's hard to tell. It's impossible to tell, really. Good job dodging those yellow things. 2 people are not getting the blood right now. They were a little late on that. One of them's a warlock with challenge mode gear. You think this guy would have learned? He probably paid for it. Let's be serious. Raise your hand if you paid for challenge mode. How many people did that, man? Everybody. It's such a shame, but you'd think an OG dungeon player, he'd know to get the mechanic at the right time. Basically, as soon as that ad dies, you can go get that mechanic. As long as you don't get it the second the ad dies, you can get it. So a little bit late too for you getting it. You don't want to react to this. You want to have it beforehand, because when you react to it, it causes people to panic. As you see, somebody missed it there. Not necessarily because nobody got it early, but it definitely would have helped. If 3 or 4 people get it early, then the person who doesn't pay attention and gets it at the end, there's like, well, I only have 1 to go to. But I've had this happen innumerable times, where all 5 people wait, and then they all go to the same one. Boss heals like 10%. So that's a good tip. Okay, so you got 8 minutes left. You still haven't done the obelisk. I guess we're doing it with the boss. Interesting choice. It's the tank breaker. On this fight, I would definitely not do that. But on 12, I guess you're fine. I think you will find in the future that this route is non-viable. Oh, you're not going to do it with the boss. You're going to get it now. Interesting. Okay, well, maybe this is a better option. Aggro and pull away. Okay, fair enough. Again, I would definitely recommend doing this in the middle of the dungeon, just because you're running the risk of having to use CDs there. Go. This fucking group. Nobody's going to do it. Are you kidding me? Somebody's got to do it. Is this for real? Wow, you have to... Wow, this is sad. Oh, I'm glad you sent me this. This is what a...
You made it farther than I thought.
Oh my... Yo. Just do it. What are you guys doing? Anybody. Literally anybody do it. Except a tank. Wow, what a mess. That's like a 1.5 minutes lost there. You're really close to that pack. Ah, you almost aggroed it, man. You got really close to that pack. That's because that guy's an idiot. Wow, groups suck at 12, man. Oh, man. Okay, so a little freedom there. Good tip. I wouldn't have really thought of that. Obviously a good choice. Getting out ahead. Looks like you didn't even get hit by that. Or maybe you just mitigated it well. Yeah, I just don't like this, though, man. Just because, like... You really... Oh, well, you know, you're using it to skip the spider part. To be fair, this group probably could have used that. You know, that was a good option, skipping these spiders here. Maybe you could skip the boss. Anybody try it? If you could skip Yasma, let me know. We're doing this last. I would love that. I hate Yasma. Least favorite fight in the game to tank. Normally, most favorite fight in the game to tank with 5 tank dungeon runs. Make sure you guys check it if you haven't seen it. We've been doing 5 tank keys, season 4. Pretty fun. We're probably not going to do it again for a while, but... It was fun. 16 Atal upgraded with 5 tanks. Really good. Last fight is a joke because the boss does not put out the ghosts or whatever the thing, the spirits. She cannot do that to a tank for some reason. So that's that. What's this guy doing? What's this demon hunter doing? This demon hunter is like clueless. He's not even in the realm. The dude is not in the realm. Huh? I don't like this guy. Tell this guy I don't like him. Next time you see this guy, tell him I said I don't like you. He's still not in the realm. Well, he can't be in the realm. He didn't go in the realm. He's done now, Skitty Pop. He's just gonna have to wait. So this dude is throwing the key. You came here with 8 minutes left. You're gonna pull this boss with less than 5 minutes, probably. Where is the guy now? He's just off doing... Remember this Unholy DK we had in the stream a couple weeks ago? The dude was just off doing nothing? That's this guy. My bad. Yeah, no, it's definitely not my bad. I'm not gonna take blame for that. Again, short on the pull there. You definitely want to aggro on 0. Pre-pot on 1, aggro on 0. That's why you're doing a countdown. If maybe you're not aware of that. That's why you do a countdown. Probably not going to happen in 12. I mean, you don't even have pots. So I guess it's obvious. But yeah, that's why you're doing a countdown. So people could pre-pot on 1. And also so the healer could drink. There's only 2 times you want to count down nowadays. It used to be in Legion you wanted to count down every dungeon because they would switch gear. You used to be able to switch gear in Mythic Plus. Cannot switch gear anymore. So it's not as important anymore. Basically, if the healer is full... and you know pots are not up, like i.e. you did a dangerous pull right before the boss. Like the first boss in Shrine. People always are going to pre-pot that pack right before that first boss. No reason to wait. Just go. You don't have to do a timer there, but whatever. Anyway, so Skewer. Pretty good Shield of Righteous usage. I mean, this is easy mode for Paladin. Just save 1 charge Shield of Righteous every time. Should have at least 1. Should probably have like 1.5 up every time. Racking Pain. Nice. Got that interrupt. Shield of Avenging Shield was off CD. Kiting him back the way you started. It's fine. Doesn't really matter on 12. I hate this fight because the spiders get all over the place when you got multiple melee and 1 ranged. Happens all the time. You got technically 2 ranged. I mean, we got a monk. He's in melee, it looks like. Or is he? Nice. I don't think he is. I don't know. It's just, it'd be nice if everybody was in melee, but I know it's not going to happen with multiple ranged. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Looks like the run goes well. You upgrade it, I assume, unless we... How much time's left? We did that video. Me and Cop did that video. He got to the last boss, and we had 30 minutes left in the video. That's how you know things go poorly. Oh, and you didn't get the interrupt. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is a death. Is that going to be a wipe? How much time is left? 2 minutes. Oh, yo. This thing's got spicy real quick. So there you go, man. Hate to tell ya. Wiped the group there. Lack of interrupt. Little tough. Tough fight to interrupt, I have to say. No blood decay, no vengeance. Tough to interrupt, but you are a paladin. I would honestly just sit on Avenger's Shield. I know you want to maximize it for offense. You want to maximize it for that shield talent. I don't know if you have that shield trait. That is a couple of talents and things that synergize well with it. But man, can't miss an interrupt. That is your job as a tank. Do we not have a 3rd interrupt or 3rd battle res? 2nd battle res? How many did we use? 2 minutes left, guys. This is down to the wire. And that mob is going to hit. Oh, my God. Did you see that play? Twilight Devastation. Killing the mob at the last second. You were going to wipe there. That was going to be it, dude. This healer is garbage. Dude's doing 45k. No, he's doing 22k overall. What am I saying? 45k? This dude is made of trash. He was not going to be able to survive that. You have no idea. I don't know if you realize that. Did you realize that? Let me know. I'd love to hear your comments on this. Beware. That Twilight Devastation just saved this key, by the way. High probability of a wipe there. So a couple big mistakes at the last second. One of them failed to interrupt, but whatever. Anybody could have got that. Obviously, it's not just your fault. Warlock should have got it. Just kidding. He didn't interrupt a single time, so you got to know that. That's on you. And that's that. You're going to res the dead. And you got a piece of loot coming to you, looks like. One of you do. But that's it. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Grats. He guy says, res, walk. Good job, guys. And nice tank. Well, you got a compliment. Oh, you got a weapon. Haste verse. Oh, that's a big upgrade. Okay. How about that big upgrade? Recorded live here at One Azeroth TV. Good tank. Look at that. Look at the compliments. Well, you did fine, I'd say. Frankly, I would not return the compliments to these guys. That Warlock especially was horrible. Tell that guy to play Destro next time you see him. Tell that monk I said maybe learn how to heal. I don't know. He does fine. No hate. Obviously, the Demon Hunter is from Ragnaros. You can't really blame him. He's kind of just like, you know, he's down a peg starting from that realm. But yeah, so main things. Let's recap. Number 1, route went perfectly. Other than killing You were over count. So that's suboptimal. And the reason you went over count was because... Did we not pull this? I feel like we did not. Let me see if I could find that. I feel like you did not pull that. You want to get that instead of the 2 mobs, I believe. Did we not get that? It looks like it's still there because I never saw you pull it. I don't think you did anyway. But yeah, so just check the route. You were over count. You don't want to be over count in this dungeon. There's no reason to be. You can get 100% count without any fanciness. 100% easily. And obviously this freaking nonsense. I cannot believe this. Nobody in the group knew how to do this. You can't do it yourself either. I mean, you kind of can, but you don't want to. That would be a terrible idea. So you're at the mercy here. Some DPS has to step up and do it. And it's going to be the Warlock whose pet aggroes. You have no idea how important this is. You are so close to aggroing this thing. If you were another yard or 2 to your left, you did take a little bit of a circular route. If you took a straight route, which I assume that's why you took that circular route. If you took a straight route, that would have been a wipe. You would have aggroed that. So how does this guy not get in this realm? This guy's just brain dead? Where is he? I'm so confused. How is this guy not in here? You're the only person who goes in here, aren't you? No, this guy, who's this, the monk? And then it looks like, is the warrior here too? That demon hunter's like, no, the demon hunter dies. The demon hunter dies. And the warlock dies. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. What the actual hell? So the warlock sends the pet in. Yeah, there's the bird right up there. You can see it. You can't see it because the camera, but it's there. So yeah, this is just, the route was just, you didn't do it right. So anyway, warlock goes in. Demon hunter goes in. He says, I don't care, I'm for Ragnaros. We don't play by these rules. We don't need no fucking tank. Dead. That guy's dead. He's not going to return. Yo, I have to say that's embarrassing. I have to say that's embarrassing. Anyway, what else? Yeah, so obviously, CD usage, I mean, no offense, man. I like you and all, but that was terrible. Absolutely terrible usage of CDs. I mean, it's a really big deal on a prop alley, I would have to say. I don't play prop alley. It's not my main or anything like that, but it's very similar to Blood DK. If I saw Blood DK not use Dancing Rune Weapon as often as you didn't use Wings, if I saw Blood DK not use Vampiric Blood as often as you didn't use your other CDs, these are just massive. You're just taking so much extra damage for no reason. And, you know, as long as you're alive, it sounds fine. Maybe you want to save them, but it'd be like, well, we didn't really need Lust. We upgraded it. No, you got to use Lust, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to use these things. It's how you maximize. You know what I mean? So I would definitely think a little bit more about that. Start thinking about why you didn't use these things, what stopped you from using them, why you're thinking about using them and not using them, and maybe just readjust, especially Wings. Wings is an offensive CD first. Remember this. It looks like a defensive CD, and it absolutely is, but it should be an offensive CD first. And you should realize that 90% of the time you're trying to maximize offense, you're doing that because it's also difficult defensively. Like on many packs where you split, you pull really big, or you try to get really difficult trash together into one area, that's when you want to use Rune Weapon, because 1, you maximize your defense, 2, you maximize your offense simultaneously. That's why tanks are valuable, is because they could do both at the same time. That's why Prop Pally is one of the top tanks right now. That's why Warrior is one of the top tanks right now. And that's why Blood DK will always be strong, because they are the 3 best tanks at it, and they probably always will be, unless they remove Avatar, Wings, or Dancing Rune Weapon. So anyway, I still can't get over the end of this. Let's see when we lust here, too. I just want to check this out real quick. Do we lust on the poll? Wait, does anybody lust? Who's lusting? You're lusting. No lust. Oh, no, somebody else did it. Okay. Yeah, I like lusting on the polar. I mean, I really do. People like to save it, but unless you have, like, Fire Mage or something like that, I don't know why save it. Like, these mobs die so fast, you might as well just get a little bit of lust and get back, right? But anyway, so yeah, that's the real thing. Flubbed the route a little bit. Didn't use, the real thing here is with Necrotic, you didn't use Bubble Taunt. I don't know if you have the talent. I still don't know, but you got to use that. You got to get that going at least 3 or 4 times this dungeon. There's plenty of times when you could have needed it, and it's just so freaking overpowered. It's why I have Prop Pally at tier 1 number 1 for pretty much the entire expansion, man. It's why they have an immunity. They literally the only tank in the game. They could be immune for, what is it, 8 seconds? I mean, that is a long time when a pack's lasting like 30, 40 seconds. So Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this concept. If you guys are, in a boat where you want to talk about this too, I'm not gonna just like, don't just start spamming me with videos. But if it's the right circumstance and you think I could help you, or you wanna, you wanna showcase your stuff, let me know. Otherwise, good shit, man. We'll look forward to doing more of these. Hopefully. Thanks for watching.